so I believe we're saving the best for last. Oh, maybe not. But everybody's here is getting antsy. They're going like this either because they got to pee or they really want to get out to the other bar and start going bar hopping. So either way, let's put a big round of applause together here for Dave. Dave, come on up. I just want to thank you for having me in here tonight and all the other past times, and I love this whole thing, and it just gets better and better every time.
Thank you very much, sir.
You know, it's not every show where I sit and think, well, great. Now I have to top a story told by a 15-year-old. And feel a little intimidated by that. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Okay, first of all, Mikey touched on something and it reminded me of an idea that I had years and years ago.
You have to show us on the doll, Dave.
No. I'd like to thank Kurt for giving me my own minion.
It's so fluffy!
It's so funny. Mikey was talking about public executions. I had my own crazy idea years ago during the Enron scandal, and I'm now kind of bringing it into the era of the 2008 crash and all of the people who were so kind to bring it to us. And that idea is, I have an idea of how we're going to reclaim the money. And it's a very simple, straightforward one. What we do is we create a reality show. And what the reality show will be is Goldman Sachs Board's escape from Oakland. We will start them on one end of Oakland, and then we will turn loose all the hounds of hell on them. And if any of them make it to like the far end of Oakland into San Francisco proper, they can move on to part 2, Goldman Sachs Board Escape from Detroit. I have a sneaking suspicion we may get some advertising revenue out of it, just saying.
Yeah, but can you get Kurt Russell on board?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he would be one of the executive producers. So, every now and again somebody asks me, where do you come up with these strange, crazy ideas and the things and the creativity? And I said it was very obvious early on as a child that was going to happen, but if I were to be even more honest, drugs. I don't advocate the use of a lot of drugs. I am, in point of fact, a reformed addict from a number of them. But on the other hand, there have been certain drugs that I have taken in the past that have had wonderfully therapeutic uses. I will not say which ones they are, some because of the fact that they were therapeutic for me, but they might be an ongoing psychosis for you. Shit happens. But the primary reason... A little bit more than that. And this is a story about one of the experiences I had years and years ago under the influence of the wonderful substance known as lysergic acid diethylamide, or as we just like to call it, LSD. Key point before we begin this story, LSD is not dosed like most things. Most drugs come in milligrams. LSD is dosed in micrograms. It's a whole order of magnitude more potent. Basically, you get a drop on your skin, don't make any plans for the next 18 hours. So some friends invited me to a party and said, hey, we're going to have some acid and this and that, and the stuff has been triple dipped. And I went, oh, that's really cool. For those of you unfamiliar, what happens is you take the piece of water paper and you put it into the LSD, and then you pull it out and you wait for it to dry, and then you dip it again. And then a third time. So therefore you're getting like 3 times the normal dose that you would have. So one of these would just be fine. I had 2. Because, look, go big, go home, go crazy, but we'll see how it all works out in the end. And I proceeded to attend this party with a group of friends of mine, and I should point out that it was not quite the crotch of the ghetto. It was, on the other hand, not that far from 30th and Pacific Street, which back in the early 1990s was a bit of a hardcore neighborhood. It's a little hardcore now, but this was back before they started regulating things like ephedrine. And you could pretty much scout where all of the meth labs were on the street at that point in time. It was a little exciting to be in that neighborhood. So I go to the party and I drop the acid and the world turns into a strobe light, and then there's the colors and the sounds and all of these amazing things. And very, very rarely have I taken a psychedelic substance and found myself in the circumstance of thinking, I have transcended reality. It didn't happen at the party. I am a person who really, really enjoys information overload. I spent years being bored out of my mind. Yes! Excuse me. yes, information overload. I spent decades being bored out of my mind as a child, so therefore I started looking for more and more interesting and intense experiences. And hanging around the party, it was like, serious industrial music, blasting lights, it was incredible. And then after a while, my brain was like, okay, knock this shit off. Please stop. Because at this point in time, the sense and stimuli are reaching an element where you're just like, I literally am at the point where I can't handle it. So I decided I'm going to walk back to where I've been crashing. Did I mention this is not the best neighborhood in the world? Did I also mention I'm tripping my eyeballs off? My pupils basically look like this. I am an anime character. And so I go walking down the back alleys of this neighborhood, walking along, and all of a sudden things are coming from the shadows, things are looming out. I found out the next day as I was wandering along, coming through this alley, somebody got knifed to death, so my timing was really good. I was kind of after the knifing, before the knifing, but not quite involved in it, so it worked out really well. And I make it onto the street where my friend's apartment is English. Sorry, just... I was looking at wigs. Anyway, so I'm walking up the street, and you have these very interesting moments where your brain starts translating. I don't want to know, do I?
One more time! Oh, baby!
Sometimes you don't mind the show being stolen from you, I'm just saying. And so I'm walking down the street, and the brain interprets things radically different because you can always feel the subcurrents of the way that the world is working around you when you're on this kind of seriously intense psychedelic drug. And it's a neighborhood full of menace. And as I'm wandering along and I walk onto my friend's street, I see this car, and it's driving up and down. Now, I know now that this guy was out looking to score dope, but at this particular point in time, I look in, and the guy is Satan in the car, and he is cruising for souls, and I'm the only other person on the street. This is not going well. So I kind of like creep up to my friend's apartment door, and I proceed to open up the front door. I go inside, and thank God I'm so safe to be away from this satanic figure in this horrible 80s car. Yes, much like that. And so I get up to his apartment. I stick the key into the lock. I feel the tumblers turn. I go to open the door, and I smack my head into the door that will not open. What? Let me try that again. Take the key out, put the key back in. Turn the key, feel the tumblers turn, go to open the door. Nope, that isn't working either. Apparently I've forgotten how to use a door. This is going to be interesting. So I keep messing with the key, and I keep messing with the lock, and it's not necessarily the best door. This is, like I said, on 30th and Pacific, the doors are kind of made out of cheesecloth. And I'm beginning to shake the shit out of the door, and to the point where I'm beginning to feel the hinges give away, which is when the smart part of my brain finally decides to make an appearance. And it says, Dave, we don't talk very much. It's not like I'm not talking, you're just not smart enough to listen. But let me save you a little trip to both the emergency room and the cop shop today. Before you get busted for breaking into your friend's apartment, I should point something out. You're tripping. The world is not quite as it seems. So here is what you're going to do. Take the key out of the lock, walk downstairs, go out through the security door, but Satan's outside. I know, Dave, but it'll be okay. Okay, I'll deal with that. Then what you do is you walk outside, let the security door close, and then you walk back inside and back up, and I promise you, the door will open. Are you sure about that? Yes, Dave, I'm sure about that. Okay, I'm going to try this. So I walk downstairs, open up the security door, and Satan's still trying to score dope. I walk out, let the door shut. Here we go. And sometimes you just want to check it. Walk back outside, let the door shut, give it a couple of seconds. Satan's now back on the rebound again, still trying to cruise dope. And I walk back inside, walk up the steps, and at this point in time, I'm sneaking up on the door. I am doing like the commando walk up the stairs. Like somehow the door is gonna see me coming, and it will do this shit to me me again. I stick the key into the lock, and I feel the tumblers turn, but I've been fooled by that one before. So I just kind of mess with it, and I feel everything go click. And the door opens, and I walk inside. I've never been so happy to see a $350 a month cheesy apartment overrun by cockroaches in my life. I then proceed to go find the couch, lie down upon the couch, crash out upon the couch, and I'm sitting there, and about 15 minutes later, my good friend John Hanlon, who I miss desperately, comes walking in and proceeds to find his strobe light and blasts me with it. And you know, sometimes those are the moments that define a friendship. Chasing your friend with the strobe light, holding a bouquet down the streets of Omaha, past Satan's car one more time. Thank you all very much. What time is it?
It is 10:34.
Dave, hold on a second. Time to get fucking drunk.
Since you're up there,
Yeah.
everybody signed their ass on this bullshit for you.
Oh, okay.
Does Evangelical have like a museum or anything?
Museum.
Since you're a huge part of that.
All right.
And then this is going to Evangelical for their, to the beginning of the museum. This is the poster for the show.
Hooray!
Are we posters children?
Yes. So it is 10:34 in the evening. We have this wonderful poster, which at some point in time, should any of us become famous, we will auction the fuck out of.
Yeah, our asses are for sale.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Hey, I have said it many times. I am not proud.
I would say all.
So with that in mind, I'm going to make it up to Sam and Ben at the January 30th show, but we are definitely running late at this point, and I apologize. Key points to remember: there will be a show which I'm still trying to determine is going to be on the 14th or the 21st. I'm talking to the people here. But even more importantly, we got a phone call from the Slowdown people again. And they asked, hey, would you guys like to play the Slowdown on January 30th, which is a Wednesday. So, I am announcing it now. If you're interested, we will be there January 30th. It will be a Samurai Spoken Word show. It will begin 8-ish. And as usual, there will probably be drink specials, there will be madness, there will be all kinds of great and amazing stuff.
How much are tickets?
That would be free. This, by the way, might actually also be the show where we do a benefit for the nice people at Bikers Against Child Abuse. If you're not familiar with them, I'm going to put an article up on them tomorrow on the Samurai Facebook page. It's a fucking tearjerker, and I'm not even kidding when I say it, but it's amazing. Thank you all so very much for making it an amazing year for us and for the charities that we have supported. Thank you so very much for supporting us. And let's bring in 2013 right. Please, all of you tonight, get home in one piece. Do not wind up in the cop shop. There's plenty of ways to get home that don't necessarily involve you getting behind the wheel wasted out of your mind. Even I'm trying that one. Yeah, Sam will drive. What could possibly go wrong? Thank you all so very, very much. Good night.
And on a quick note, any of tonight's artists, if you are interested in being on the show and doing a performance piece, you need to see me. I don't chase after you. You need to see me before you go, okay?
Anyone else?
1, 2, 3. All right. We'll make a list.
Yes.
And check it
I'm
twice.
a 4. I'll do anything.